Welcome back to Tech Pulse, the show where we cut through the tech jargon and get straight to what matters in science, defense, and beyond. I'm Zaper.
And I'm Puck, the guy who's here to question whether this what matters actually matters. Before we dive in, hit subscribe, drop a like, and share this episode with that one friend who thinks spy satellites are cooler than Netflix.
They are cooler than Netflix. Today's headline is serious business. Israel's new spy satellite transmits first images.
Oh boy, here we go. A satellite with eyes sharper than an eagle watching the Middle East 24/7. Depending on who you are, that's either national security brilliance or a terrifying privacy nightmare.
Let's break this down for folks who don't live in military briefings. The satellite's called Ofek 19. It just went live and started beaming high-res images back to Earth.
And the big tech buzzword here, SAR. That's synthetic aperture radar. Basically, radar on steroids.
Exactly. Unlike regular optical cameras that need sunlight and clear skies, SAR works day or night, rain or shine. It bounces radar signals off the Earth's surface, then processes the return data to build crystal clear images.
Translation, this thing doesn't blink. It sees through clouds, it sees in darkness, and probably catches you sneaking out for midnight shawarma.
Not quite, but yes, this is all-weather surveillance. And for a country in the middle of a so-called seven-front war, that's a game changer. Let's put numbers on the table. Ofek 19 builds on task satellites like Ofek 16, but with next-gen radar. Israel claims it captured 12,000 images of Iran during a recent conflict in something called Operation Rising Lion. That's not just data, that's actionable intel.
12,000 images? That's surveillance on steroids. But here's my pushback. At what point does intelligence become overkill? You're not just monitoring threats, you're saturating everything. Feels less like security and more like paranoia.
Paranoia? Come on, Puck. Israel's in an active multi-front conflict. Gaza, Lebanon, Syria, even Yemen. This isn't peacetime luxury. Persistent surveillance saves lives.
Or escalates conflict. When your defense minister goes on TV saying, "We're watching you at all times," that's not just defense, that's intimidation. Satellites like this don't just gather intel, they project power.
And what's wrong with projecting power if it deters attacks? That's the whole point. If enemies know you can see every move they make, day or night, they'll think twice.
Or they'll double down, knowing they're already under a microscope. You can't surveil your way into peace, Zaper. History proves that.
Look, you're painting this as a dystopian big brother, but the reality is satellites like Ofek 19 keep Israel in the same league as the US, China, Russia. Only 13 countries can even launch satellites independently. That's elite territory.
Sure, it's elite, but do you notice how the elite countries are also the ones with the most enemies? Maybe this arms race in space mentality is the problem, not the solution.
That's easy to say when you're not surrounded by hostile borders. For Israel, not having this tech would be suicidal. You don't get to opt out of surveillance when missiles are flying.
And yet you don't get to pretend that more satellites equals more peace. Every dollar poured into Ofek 19 is a dollar not poured into diplomacy.
Diplomacy backed by intelligence is stronger. Without knowing troop movements, weapons smuggling routes, or hidden bases, your diplomacy is blind.
Fair, but here's the kicker. This tech isn't neutral. Once it exists, it can be abused. Governments don't always use all-seeing eyes responsibly. You cheer it today for defense. Tomorrow, it could be used for political surveillance, civilian monitoring, even targeting journalists.
That's a risk, yes, but the alternative is worse, blindness. Between imperfect security and no security, I'll take imperfect.
I just keep imagining some poor guy in Unit 9900 staring at screens like, oh great, another picture of a goat farm.
Don't underestimate goat farms, Puck. Smuggling happens in the weirdest places.
True. Somewhere out there is a spy goat just waiting to be caught on Ofek 19's radar.
You had to go there. So here's where we land. Ofek 19 is not just a satellite. It's a statement about tech, security, and power projection. Israel is saying, we can see everything, everywhere, anytime.
And my takeaway, just because you can see everything doesn't mean you should. Surveillance might protect you, but it also erodes trust and fuels arms races.
That's the beauty of this debate. Security versus freedom. Deterrence versus escalation.
And listeners, that's where you come in. Do you think spy satellites like Ofek 19 make the world safer or just more paranoid? Drop your thoughts in the comments.
That's all for this episode of Tech Pulse. I'm Zaper.
And I'm Puck. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and join us next time where even satellites can't escape the debate.